Hey everybody, what's up? This is New Standard MTG, here with the first deck tech in a long time. Um, Things get a little crazy, a little bit busy, um, but we're gonna get back to it, and we're gonna get to some more videos, and so kind of getting later in the season, and there hasn't been too many big tournaments for Standard. With this one, this is blue-white approach. Basically, blue-white control, just really approach WinCon. Um, I went to a PPTQ weeks ago and top 8'd with not this exact list, but something very, very similar. But let's jump into it, and we'll start with our lands. There's 26. We have our Glacial Fortress, Irrigated Farmlands. I threw in Meandering Rivers. They're not great, but um, I think there needed to be some more consistency with the mana base, and the Meandering Rivers help with that. Um, 5 islands, 5 plains, scavenger grounds for gift decks or what have you. The Ipnu rivulets can help by either trying to mill our opponent out if we're against maybe a control mirror. Um, they can help us get to our approach a little bit faster. And then there's a one Field of Ruin for other search for Escanted decks. Like there's blue-black control now. And then Arch of Orazca is just a really kind of neat control. Not really a control card, but the game's going longer, and we have a built-up board, and being able to draw cards on a when you're in a stalemate or just out of gas, like it can be a lot more helpful than a lot of people think. Okay, now we'll get into the spells. Um, as we see, there are 2 Baffling Ends. I think that Glint Sleeve Siphoner is a thing, and Glint Sleeve Siphoner can single-handedly beat us because if we don't counter it, we don't have an answer until turn 4, and that's not ever good. So a couple of Baffling Ends in the main. 4 Censors. You can get the early drop on whatever spell our opponents want to cast. And then 4 Essence Scatters. This is basically like counter spell in this meta right now. There is blue-black control, but they're still running 6 creatures between 4 Gearhulks and 2 Scarab Gods. So I mean, this card is amazing. 2 Search for Azcanta. I've thought about going for a third, but didn't really see why. Most of the time that's not what I want to be doing on 2. I want to be leading up Censor or Essence Scatter. So normally Search for Azcanta is like when I don't have anything else to do spell, or the turn 4 where I can leave up Censor or Essence Scatter. We'll get to the 3 drops, and originally I only had 3 disallows, but not having anything to do on turn 2, I felt weakened the deck a little bit. So I added a couple of Supreme Wolves, and these can either dig through our deck or make our opponents miserable, which is always fun. 1 cast out, which is single cast out. There are 3 more in the sideboard for when we just have to take care of our opponent's things. We can also cycle it, get through our deck. 4 Settle the Wreckage, great sweeper. People know how to play around it now, but it's better. It can still get the job done, and being able to flash it back with Gearhulk is really nice. 3 Glimmer of Genius and 2 Hieroglyphic Illuminations. Originally this was 4 Glimmer and 1 Hieroglyphic, but I like the 3-2 split. These get you 4 deep in your deck when you want to find your approach or something specific. These can cycle early, or if you have the mana available or what have you, you can cast this and just draw 2. 2 Fumigates. There's a lot of creature decks out there. Fumigates help a lot. 2 Torrential Gearhulks. A lot of lists that I saw for blue-white approach only played 1 Gearhulk, and I tried it out, and I'd play my Gearhulk, and usually it would just get killed or exiled with whatever card, and I always wanted a second one. I always wanted to dig for another one. So here I am playing 2. And then our main win con, our 3 approach of the second sun. Sometimes they can get bogged up in your hand early, but once you get to turn 7, if you have all of your lands, we run 26 lands, so it's not hard to get to 7. Well, we cast that, and hopefully cast another one in maybe the next turn or a few turns after that, and we win the game. Our opponents hate us, but we win, and that's the important thing. We have fun too. Now move to the sideboard. Alright, here we have 2 Authority of the Council for aggro decks. Maybe there should be a third one, but usually games 2 and 3 are pretty good even with only 2 of these, and also for the aggro matchups we use our Regal Caracols. They help us gain a bunch of life. 3 negates, like you can bring these in for almost any matchup except for those. I don't like bringing them in for mid-range, although they do help against Chandras and Angraths. I think that's mostly for control mirrors and when you're worried about planeswalkers. You don't really want to worry about vehicles, at least not in my opinion. The 4th disallow, control matchups, games that are going to go longer, I won't mind having 2 or 3 disallows in my hand, even in the early game. Like I said, the other 3 cast outs, planeswalkers really destroy us, and there are some fringe cards out there that we don't want to play against either. 1 Metallurgic Summonings, I like this in the control mirror because it can break it if our opponents don't have an answer for enchantments. 3rd Torrential Gearhulk, we need to go a little bit bigger, and Nezahal Primal Tide. That blue-black control deck, if they just have tons of answers in their hands and counters, like we just can't get past their defenses. So having Nezahal Primal Tide can really help with that matchup. Alright, well, there's the deck, and we will get into round 1. That's not the one I want. Play our league match. And we're in a competitive league. I normally don't do competitive leagues. Especially, this is more of like a fringe playable deck. Fringe playable. Not too many people play it. There's a lot of answers for it. But I don't think a lot of people are boarding against it. So, this might be good, it might not be good, and we get to be on the play for round 1. Alright guys, here we go. And this is probably a good time to remind everybody, hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button, it really helps. We're going to keep this hand. 2 lands, a couple of sensors to cycle if we need to. Supreme Will. We'll play our farmland, and we'll pass. It's a little bit slower with the 2 tap lands, but I don't think I can really argue with this. This might take a minute to get to. That's not really what we want in our opening hand, but we do know that it's there now, at least. And we'll play another tap land, pass a turn. Probably, at their end step, we'll cycle the sensor. And here's a Glint Sleeve, which we can take care of next turn. And hopefully they don't destroy our enchantment. Alright, we're going to cycle this. Find the land, so that's good. I think I'm going to let them get in for 2. Because they don't have 2 energy to draw a card from. So Glint Sleeve isn't doing a whole lot of damage just yet. You're hitting us for 2, but okay, that's fine. You can hit us for 2. Rishkar. Sensor Rishkar. Is that what we want to do? No. I think we're going to Supreme Will Rishkar. And then next turn we can Baffling in and leave up Sensor. I think that's our best options. Or if we draw an Essence Scatter. So we'll make him P3. This is like the Sultai counter list. Sensor would have been good value there. But I think being able to play this and then leave up another spell is probably more worth it. And then if we don't get the chance to use it, which we do right now, we could have just cycled it. And now hopefully our opponent is kind of stuck on lands here. Well, he's not stuck on lands, but he played a tap land. So we can play our land. And he'll get to untap, and he's not going to have anything that's hasty, so we're just going to Glimmer in our end step. That's a little unfortunate because we won't be able to do anything about it. Except for with this Settle, which will probably actually be really nice. Settle the Hydra, you probably might have a Cartouche of Knowledge to throw on it. Which I think is really cool. I think it's really spicy. We want a land for sure, but I don't want this land. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to get a Disallow. That's good. We can. This is gonna have to go in TED at some point. So I think. What do I want to do? I think we can. Yeah, let's play this. They're down to 3 cards in hand. We can disallow something if we need to, or we can settle this Hydra. Although I'm not convinced that we want to settle the Hydra. Okay. So he's searching for something. I think I'm 1, 2, 3, 4. We could have. Let's just settle. Get rid of the Hydra, because you can get too out of control too quickly. Okay, then we get rid of them. We can't do anything else this turn, so we'll pass. And yeah, apparently neither can he. Alright. We have Verdurous Gearhulk. This is not going to resolve. But how do I want to do it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna Gearhulk. And I will Supreme Will it. Excuse me. And then after boarding, we're going to have to worry about Spell Pierce. So that's something that we need to think about. Awesome. Well, hopefully our opponent doesn't have anything to take care of our Gearhulk, but we have counters just in case. I think at this point I'll just protect the Gearhulk. Yeah. We'll go to game 2. I think they played Verascas and maybe Liliana. What don't we want here? I think we want everything, but could board for this. Settles are good, Fumigates are good. Battling End seemed good. Although, I think he's going to bring in Thrashing Brocodon. So maybe I'm going to take these Battling Ends out. And bring in... I'm going to bring in the Negates. I think our opponent goes with Planeswalkers at least. But let me know what you guys think about the videos. Let me know what you guys think about the deck, my play. Did I mess something up? Let me know. Leave it down in the comments. And I'll remind you guys again, click the like button, share, subscribe. There's links down below to Twitter. You know, I'm on Twitter. I'm not too terribly active, but I'm always like soaking up the information from all the other content creators and people like that. And now just waiting on our opponent. Tell me what you guys are hoping for in Dominaria. Dominaria seems really cool. I haven't been playing too terribly long like the rest of the people that are out there, but I know a lot of the story, like nothing too specific, but a lot of the story seems really cool, like along with the mending and this whole thing with Nicol Bolas. Even though I'm starting to think like the whole Nicol Bolas thing is kind of getting overplayed. Where they're at in the story right now, they're making it seem like Nicol Bolas just wants to have this zombie army invade Ravnica, and I'm just I'm wondering why. Why Ravnica? Is it just an excuse for wizards to go back to Ravnica? And some of this may get edited out if our opponent is just gonna sit here and do nothing. So if there's a couple of skips here or there, just that's why. But it's what I was using to practice for my tournaments. We'll get into more bunch of decks as we go on, and as I find time to do the videos. Alright guys, see you guys in round 2.